I admin their entire system and I keep it up, I keep it running. When there's issues, I fix them. I train all the new hires to come in to know how to use it correctly. I work hand in hand with all the other departments to make sure that any new functionality coming out works correctly, testing, all that kind of stuff. So I'm also the first person to test to see what is broken. Is it really broken, or do people just need to be further trained on how to use it correctly? You have people like me who work with the people who actually do the coding and the idea people to make sure that there's functional ways to do everything. So you can do anything from, hey, my computer won't turn on, all the way up to building websites or creating new projects and functionality for huge companies. The IT degree that I got from CWI is information security and digital forensics. And so when I started, I don't work in the information security part of my company, but I do work hand in hand with them in a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. One thing that I can tell you is if internships are available, do them. No joke. Out of my entire graduating class from CWI, the only people who left school and went directly into industry were the ones who did internships. Everybody else had to start doing something else to get their foot in the door of a company to get into the IT department. So if that's available, do it, because you're just going to move into an actual IT department faster. Actually ended up never finishing high school. So I had to go through, once I became an adult at the age of 24, and get my GED. At that point, I realized I didn't want to work in retail or food for the rest of my life. So I decided to go to CWI. I figured it was a great springboard. I really liked the idea that there was small classroom sizes, that type of a thing. So I was terrified to do that whole thing after being not in a classroom with others. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm going to be distracted. I don't want to ask the stupid question, that type of a thing. But everyone there was just really understanding, and it was a mix of right out of high school to people that were my parents' age. So it was just a nice mix. And diversity of people, which was nice as well. So I never really knew that there was something abnormal about my learning style. I just knew that I hated reading. I didn't understand it. Math, I hated math. Numbers never turned out right. They were transposed, they were moved. Reading, I hated reading because words would hop lines and move around, and the more tired I was, the worse it was. So I was very forthcoming with all my instructors at CWI to say, hey, so I have dyslexia. This is a struggle for me. They were able to help and get study assistance for me, just to be able to get that step up. I have to sometimes spend a little longer doing things than other people. So I have to write out, like a training or a brief or a walkthrough, or I need to do a scrub and pull reports and be comparing numbers and stuff like that. Sometimes I need to pull in my coworker beside me and say, can you do a quick look? I need you to just read through and make sure it's right. Sometimes I have to do it and then I have to walk away from it for an hour and come back and look at it with fresh eyes. It's just being willing to take that time myself, and knowing where my struggles lie, to say, okay, someone else could do this in 10 minutes. I'm going to have to take 15. I have to be okay with it. But I am willing to take that time, so therefore the end result ends up being good. My favorite class was probably the digital forensics course. Basically taking computers that had been wiped and finding out how much was not really wiped. Also, there was one particular class that was completely on hacking. That one was really fun too. And so just being able to go through and getting all the toys that went along with it. Like I said, I don't use it in industry right now, but it's still something I like to keep tucked in my back pocket. I spend 3/4 of my day solving technical problems, just because of the type of work that I do. My average day is I get in and I see what broke since the last time I was there. And then from there I have a section of my day that is set to meet with people over improvements that they're working on making and testing them from an IT standpoint to see whether or not they stand up, what areas are broken that we need to make sure are fixed before it launches, those type of things. I'm also constantly on call for if anything breaks or goes down, but really it's just my days personally, a lot of testing, a lot of fixing, or trying to find what's broken so the people who can actually go in and code the fix can do so. I like to dig in and see what's really wrong. Like, you could say, oh, okay, the TV and the DVR stopped talking. Okay, that's great. I want to know why. I don't want to know that it stopped. If it stopped, go buy a new one. That doesn't help me. I want to know why it's doing what it's doing. And then, can I actually fix it? When I was in school at CWI, I was the only female in my program. And I work in an industry that is very heavily filled with men. Because a lot of people think IT, it's a guy thing. Women, go be a nurse. And it doesn't have to be that way. So if you're a girl who thinks that IT's cool, do it. Some of the best people I've met in industry have been women. And I don't say that because I am one. I just say it because a lot of people just won't pursue it because it does seem to be a more masculine field. But yeah, go power.